The forest was quiet when they found it. Just a few feet off the Fern Creek Trail, beneath a blanket of damp leaves and broken branches, a hiker noticed the shimmer of glass. A phone. Cracked, dirty, caked in mud. The lock screen was dead, but when the search team recovered it and charged the battery, they found something no one expected. The voice memo app had been recording for 3 hours, and it was still saved. At first, there was nothing unusual. Emily Price, 19, laughing, walking with her boyfriend. The crunch of leaves underfoot. Birds in the background. Just a normal hike. But then, the tone shifted. A branch snapped. Emily whispered something. The laughter stopped. A low rustle. Then her voice turned sharp, nervous. "Did you hear that?" More silence. Then the screaming began. Not just once. Not just a moment of fear. For nearly 3 straight hours she screamed, cried out, begged, ran. Her voice grew hoarse. The forest echoed back her panic, but no one came. They never found Emily. Just her phone. Just her voice. The police never released the full recording. They said it was too disturbing. But those who heard it, her mother, the investigators, the tech who pulled the file, never forgot what it sounded like when a girl's world collapsed into darkness. At minute 47, she gasped out one final phrase. He said it was just a game, but he lied. Then silence. 3 hours later, the phone died, and the forest never gave her back. Whatever took Emily didn't take her phone. It left a message. Emily Price was the kind of girl who never missed a check-in. Every morning, she texted her mom a sunflower emoji, and every night, a good night with at least 3 hearts. She was smart, cautious, raised by a single mother, Teresa, who worked 2 jobs just to send Emily off to her first year of college. She was home for the summer. A few days of hiking, Emily said, just to get out, breathe a little, clear her head. She left on a Saturday morning with her boyfriend, Noah Clark, who'd been dating her since high school. He was well-liked, quiet, a little awkward, but always kind, or so everyone thought. The plan was simple. Hike Fern Creek Woods, take some photos, be back before dark. But when Noah returned alone that evening, scratched up and out of breath, everything changed. He told police that he and Emily had gotten into an argument around 3 p.m. She wanted to keep going, he wanted to turn back. She got angry, stormed off, and refused to answer his calls. He waited for her, looked, then hiked out alone when the sun started dropping. "I didn't want to leave her," he said during the initial interview. "But I thought she'd cool off and come back on her own." Officers launched a search that same night. Dogs, drones, volunteers. But no trace, no tracks, no belongings. It didn't make sense. Emily had a bright orange backpack, a GPS watch, a water bottle with her name engraved on it. Nothing turned up, not even footprints beyond the trail. It was as if she'd vanished into the trees. Teresa was hysterical. She didn't believe Noah's story. "My daughter doesn't just walk off into the woods without saying something. She's not reckless. And she never once mentioned a fight." Investigators looked deeper. Emily's phone was still missing, but her cloud backup was intact. Detectives accessed her last messages. Her final texts to Noah were normal. Jokes, memes, a selfie with the caption, "Made you hike smiling face with sunglasses." There was no hint of anger, no sign of a breakup. But then, a new thread caught their attention. A number saved under JD. No last name, no profile picture. Just days of casual texts, flirty at first, then intense. The last one came the night before the hike. "JD, you sure you're ready for this?" "Emily, I want to see it for myself." That was it. Nothing after. Teresa swore she didn't know who JD was. Noah claimed he'd never seen the name before either. The police pulled cell tower pings. The JD number was a burner phone, last active from a tower near the Fern Creek trailhead just hours before Emily went missing. Then came the break. 2 days into the search, a hiker, unrelated to the search team, wandered slightly off trail while following his dog. That's when he spotted it. The corner of a phone, half buried beneath a log. The iPhone was muddy but intact. When the tech team retrieved the data, they found one file. A 3-hour voice recording. Started at 2:12 p.m. Ended at 5:14 p.m. Emily was last seen at 2:15. Teresa sat in the sheriff's office, the detective sliding a flash drive across the desk. "We recovered a voice memo," he said quietly. "It's difficult to listen to, but you have the right to hear it." She clutched the drive like it was her daughter's hand. Later that night, in her bedroom with the lights off, Teresa plugged it into her laptop and pressed play. First, it was beautiful. Emily's voice, bright and full of life, echoed through the speakers. She was laughing, teasing Noah, singing softly under her breath as they walked. Then came a long pause. "Did you hear that?" Emily asked. Noah's voice replied, "Probably just a squirrel." Another pause. Leaves rustled. Faint crunch. Then silence. Emily whispered, "Stop it." Noah, seriously. No answer. Then a scream, sharp, immediate, real. From there, the audio spiraled into chaos. Emily was running, panting, begging. "Please, stop. Don't do this," she cried again and again. But there was something else in the background. A voice, deeper than Noah's, guttural, taunting. It wasn't loud, but it repeated a phrase. "You said you wanted to see it." At the 41-minute mark, Emily gasped. "He wasn't supposed to follow me. He said it was just a game." Teresa slammed her laptop shut, heart pounding. This wasn't about a fight. This wasn't a girl storming off in anger. Emily was hunted. The next morning, detectives scrubbed the audio. A name appeared in the background. Faint but clear, JD. Not once, not twice, but 7 times. They traced the burner number again. New data showed it had last pinged at a gas station 14 miles from Fern Creek, the same station Noah had visited to buy snacks before the hike. And surveillance footage confirmed it. A man in a black hoodie, paying in cash, topping off a red jerry can. He looked directly into the camera, then smiled. Detectives needed help. They brought in Malik Turner, a former investigator who'd worked a nearly identical case 8 years earlier. Same forest, same trail, same outcome. That victim had been Kayla Monroe, 21, whose phone had also been found recording for hours. But in her case, the file was corrupted. No arrests, no answers, just another name added to the wall of unsolved cases. When Malik heard Emily's audio, his face turned pale. "The voice," he said. "It's the same. Same rhythm. Same pattern. Same whisper." Teresa joined him in digging through old files. Together, they mapped both cases, disappearances years apart but only 2.3 miles from each other. The name JD hadn't appeared in Kayla's case. But her sister remembered something chilling. Kayla had been texting someone under the nickname Ranger J. The conversations stopped days before she vanished. Malik went back to the old surveillance archives. In both incidents, the same man was seen at nearby gas stations, hood up, always paying cash, always in the background. He had no name, no credit trail. But in Emily's case, there was a slip. The burner phone had pinged near a hardware store the night before the hike. When police pulled CCTV, they caught a partial license plate. The car was registered to Jonathan Derry, a name that matched the initials JD. He was the son of a former park ranger, last known address. An old family hunting cabin deep inside the forest perimeter. By the time authorities reached it, the shack was abandoned. But inside, the walls were lined with Polaroid photos. Kayla, Emily, and others. And at the center, a map of Fern Creek. Dozens of trails circled in red. One trail marked in black. Game starts here. The cabin was silent when they entered, dust swirling in the flashlight beams. Malik, flanked by 2 deputies, stepped over the rotted floorboards, eyes scanning the peeling walls. Then he saw it, a single Polaroid tacked to the center beam. Emily. She was sitting on a rock near the Fern Creek trailhead, smiling, wearing the same jacket from the day she vanished. The photo had been taken without her knowing. Next to it, scrawled in red marker, was a date, June 17, 24. The day she disappeared. As the team combed through the cabin, they found more. A crate under the bed, filled with phones. All broken. All belonging to women reported missing within the last 15 years. All hikers. Another wall held a twisted kind of trophy display. Hair clips, shoelaces, even burned scraps of fabric. In the far corner sat a camping chair, a pair of binoculars on the seat, and a worn leather journal. Inside, page after page of scribbled notes. She's not ready yet. Game failed, too loud. Next one knows. She felt it. Then one final line underlined 3 times. She screamed longer than the rest. That afternoon, news broke nationwide. Fern Creek predator identified after decade of disappearances. Jonathan Derry was now the most wanted man in the state. But he was gone. The shack had been abandoned no more than 24 hours earlier. Fresh boot prints in the dirt confirmed it. He'd heard them coming. Once again, he had vanished into the trees. Despite this, the case ignited public outcry. Investigators reopened 5 cold cases, all tied to similar trails, all near towns where Jonathan once lived. Teresa became the face of a growing movement. Families demanding stronger safety protocols in state parks. Maya, Emily's best friend, led a digital campaign that forced phone companies to create auto-ping backups for hikers in remote areas. Lives would be saved because of what Emily endured. But no one forgot what the detective said at the press conference. We may never recover her remains, but her voice, her courage, cracked this case wide open. In the background, Teresa stood holding her daughter's phone. Cracked, burned, still scratched with dirt, still sacred, still recording. Emily didn't survive, but she refused to disappear. Fern Creek remains open to the public. But things are different now. Every trailhead bears a warning. A memorial stone sits just outside the forest entrance, engraved with names: Kayla Monroe, Emily Price, and 3 others whose stories were once forgotten. Teresa visits every month. She never got a grave, never got to bury her daughter, but she walks the same trail, carries fresh sunflowers, and sits on the bench they built near the clearing where Emily's phone was found. Sometimes, she plays the last few minutes of the recording, not to hear the screams, but the very last whisper. A moment of calm. Emily's voice, trembling but clear. "Mom, I love you." That was her last word. Now, Teresa runs a nonprofit that helps families of missing persons fight for answers. Malik retired, but he still consults, chasing down cold leads with Emily's case files. Jonathan Derry is still missing. Every now and then, someone claims they've seen him: a gas station, a shadow on a trail camera, a man camping deep in the national parks. No one has caught him, but fewer girls are disappearing. And Emily's voice, trapped in that old cracked phone, changed everything. Because sometimes the most powerful scream isn't the loudest. It's the one that refuses to be erased. If your voice was the only thing left behind, would it be enough to bring the truth to light? Tell us in the comments below.